Welcome to Brown's Rod and Custom, your home for street rods, muscle cars, and Volkswagen content. This is my dad, Big Ron. He's our body man and fabricator. This is my beautiful wife, Megan, our editor-in-chief and supporter. And this is me, Adam, the designer and mechanic for our projects. If you find our videos helpful, like and subscribe for more content.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Wanted to ask you guys if you could do me a favor. If you're watching these videos and checking out the channel and you like what you see, if you guys could hit the subscribe button for me, we would really appreciate that. We are working our way to trying to get monetized so that we can build bigger and better cars and more builds and so on and so forth and keep doing this. And that would help us a lot if you guys could do that for us. So that's really all I got for you. Really appreciate all of you. Stay tuned. We've got lots of cool builds coming. Lots of things starting to happen on a lot of different cars. So it won't just be the Thing. It's going to be the Thing, the 40 Ford, the Apache. There's going to be a lot of things happening. So just stay tuned, and I will try my best to get you as many videos as I can, including Don's 1957 Chevy two-door post that we're working on. There's a lot going on over there too. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for everything. We really appreciate you. Have a great night. Hey everybody, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. Happy Sunday. It's we've had a great day so far. It's 2:34 in the afternoon. We got up early. We went to the Sumpter swap meet. That was really good today, actually. They had a lot of stuff. So we went there, we picked up this. Let me show you what we picked up here. So we have so many different cars that they're different things. Sumpter swap. So I bought, backstory. I have the 283 over here for the 1965 Chevy SS, right? Sitting back here behind all this shit. So, I want to put this engine in my 65 Chevy SS. This is the factory engine that came in the car, numbers matching the lot. I want to keep it as close as possible to what it is, but we're going to build the motor. We're going to use this factory heads. We're going to do all of that. But I wanted to run a 2.5-inch exhaust. And to do that, I wanted a 2.5-inch collector, which these have. So I bought a set of stock exhaust manifolds with a 2.5-inch collector, and they are really nice, actually. And so these are the new exhaust manifolds for the 65 Chevy SS. So that's kind of exciting. We got that. Then over here for the Apache, there was a guy, believe it or not, and I think I paid 150 bucks for those manifolds, and I believe they are hundreds of dollars new if you were to buy them from like National Parts Depot or something. So thought I got a decent deal on that. Now, guy also had, another guy had a set of rockers, which would be this whole piece here, for the Apache. And there's the other one. They've been media blasted. It's got a couple pinholes here and there, but nothing terrible. 10 bucks for the pair. I couldn't not buy them. So because mine are, if you look at mine, here's the new one, and there's mine, right? And mine's a little dented up right here. So thought process was, I can't go wrong for $10. So we bought them, and they fit pretty good. Obviously, we just had them sitting there. So we did that. Looked for some 57 parts. There was some stuff, but we already have it, so you know, we didn't get anything for the 57. Volkswagen Thing, obviously didn't have anything for that. So we left about 10:30-ish, and we ended up, I don't know, quarter mile down the road, and Ron goes, I wonder when the Chrysler show is, the MOPAR show at Big Daddy Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum. And I said, look it up. And he looked it up, and it was today. It was yesterday and today. So I know it was Sunday. We didn't get the whole full-on experience of it. It wasn't as busy as it probably was yesterday, but we turned around and jumped right back on 75 and headed up to Ocala, which is about 35 minutes north of us. And we went to Big Daddy Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum, which was awesome because we've wanted to go there as long as we've lived here. We've driven by it so many times. And so we actually went into the museum, did that. I did a short. I've got a couple shorts and a bunch of pictures I'll post later on our Facebook and on our TikTok and stuff, and YouTube, I guess, too, on shorts. But they had so much neat stuff. If you've never been there, it's worth stopping. It was, I think, $32 for me and my dad to get in total. It was amazing. The amount of stuff in there, the amount of 426 Hemis that are in this building. I mean, we could probably, you know, cure world hunger. You know, I mean, it's just, they're everywhere. He had a Volkswagen, like a bug, like a split window bug, or an oval window bug with, what did it have? It was black, just this factory bug, but it was like mint, like brand new from the dealership. Right next to it was a Carmen Ghia that he got, that was brand new, still had the plastic on the seats. It had 7 miles on it, and it still had the window sticker in the window, which was really cool. I guess the Ghia new was $3,200 and something dollars, like $3,299 or something, which is just really cool to see. But just a huge amount of not just dragsters, top fuel dragsters, the engine room, where they've got all the engines and cutaways of the drag engines, and just they had what looked to be, to me, I'm a huge fan of the 426 Hemi. I want one terribly, but they had what I would only, how do I describe this? It looked like a brand new factory 426 Hemi with 2 4s, exactly the way it came from Chrysler day one, like it was one of the display engines or something at a dealership, right? And he had that there. I mean, just stuff you don't see. You know, I mean, they had an 8,000 horsepower 426 Hemi from 2003 out of one of the drag cars. It was 8,000 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine what that feels like? So, really cool. Really cool. We went through that, saw all of that. So if you're ever in Ocala, it's worth a stop. It's Big Daddy Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum. Stop there, check it out. The guy who flamed my dad's car and my car, our Model A's back in the day, his name's Bill Rail. They called him Short Round. He is in the NHRA Hall of Fame for painting some of the dragsters and top fuel cars and stuff of the era, 60s and 70s. He was doing gold leaf and all of that. I mean, he's just amazing. Custom painter, the candies and all that, that was this guy. And so some of his stuff, I believe, was probably in there. There was so much. I mean, someone would actually have to tell you which cars. I mean, they're just everywhere. I want to say we went through 3, maybe 4 buildings. And then there was another one off to the side they were having a garage sale out of some parts. And Big Daddy Don Garlits was sitting in there signing autographs. I was going to get an autograph, but he had a line a mile long. So, you know, I walked in and he's talking about the expansion of the of the shop. And he's talking to some other guy. And I didn't realize who it was at first. I mean, he just looked like a normal dude in a t-shirt sitting at a booth, you know. And then I'm listening to him and going, is that him? And I turned around and I looked and I went, holy shit, that's him. So, kind of cool. But we got to see him. Didn't really get to meet him, but we got to see him. And then we went over to the swap meet. And for those of you that know anything about my Chrysler 300, the 63 Chrysler 300, I have a terrible valve cover oil leak on the driver's side. Rear, I can't get it to seal, and it's because I've got a cheap set of Moroso valve covers, aluminum valve covers that came on the car when I got it, and they're bent. And once they're bent, it's almost impossible to fix them. So There was a guy in a swap meet that had a stock set here, painted Hemi orange, which is the color of my motor, so that helps me. That I picked up. They're in really good shape. They look great. Not bent, nothing like that. So when we get the Chrysler back over here, it's Chrysler 300, we'll throw these on it, and that'll solve that oil leak, which is a big deal, really. So every time we start it, it starts smoking almost immediately. It needs to be fixed. So there's a solution for now. It will eventually get the billet, either Elderbrock or Holley finned big block valve covers, big block Chrysler valve covers. But for now, to solve the oil leak problem, that's my solution. I spent 40 bucks for those. It was worth every penny. So we did pretty good. We have stuff to do. So I've got this entire table of parts to sand down with 400. I also have a dash to sand down with 400, and a couple spots we need to hit with a little body filler. Got a little dent over there on the by the pillar there on the dash, and it's very little. And then I've got a little small dent on the steering column I want to hit. It's actually somewhere on here, but I just want to make sure that gets taken care of. Otherwise, once these are sanded down, they should be ready for paint. So we did decide today, and see if it holds true, but I think we're going to set up the inflatable paint booth probably tomorrow or the next day, and blow it all down from last time we painted in it. And I think we're going to paint the dash. We're going to roll this in there and paint the dash and paint the parts in the inflatable paint booth, as opposed to doing them here in the garage. We think we'll have less dust. Ron thinks we'll have less dust, so we're going to give that a shot. So yeah, talked to Don today. He's got a new grill and a new bumper he's going to bring over. So we'll have those pieces and the bumper brackets. So we can actually get all this kind of fitting right, and then mock up the front and make sure everything fits and we're not missing anything. And if we are missing something, you know, we can get it ordered now instead of waiting until it's, you know, it's all painted and we're behind the 8 ball. So lots of things are happening. So we are going to get on it. Tuesday we got an this goes to Ken's Auto Service for a alignment, front end alignment, which it desperately needs. But I feel like I've got a problem, and with the engine, and I'm not real sure what to do. I don't want to do it, but I feel like I got a vacuum leak on this side, on this in tank, and I think I'm gonna have to kind of take this all back apart to a point, just to get to where the intake manifold will shift over just a hair, so I can get that intake off and put the new gasket on. I shouldn't have to take this one off, just this side, and then put it all back together, because right now I feel like we got a miss, and I just don't want that. So that might be something I start tinkering with here in a little bit, in between sanding and this and the other. But yeah, one of the lessons I learned from Big Daddy Don Garlits, looking at all the engines, I'm like, holy shit, some of the things these guys did, and I can't even make a Volkswagen engine run. So, you know, this is incredible. But and I can make this run perfect until I turn it off and turn it back on, and then it may or may not run right, and it just depends on how it feels. It's a grumpy old codger, so, you know, we just gotta deal with it. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get to work. I just wanted to show you what we got. I thought we got some decent little haul here, and we're gonna get to it, and I will bring you all of that as we start sanding and whatnot. I'll bring you all that footage and go from there. See you soon, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Brown's Rod and Custom. I want to give you a evening update here. Big Ron has been in here wet sanding the dash. Still got work to do, but it's really coming along. You can see all the dust. But we decided to we started dry sanding and then switched to wet sanding. So it's getting there though. I have not touched the parts yet. Those I'll be doing tomorrow.
what I did end up doing is working on the Volkswagen thing. So I have to have this at Ken's Tuesday morning at 8:30 a.m., which means I have to drive it to Ken's. It was just running terrible. So basically what I did, here's my thought process. So when I put the new intake manifold on, I put the new intake manifold gasket where it mounts to the head on the passenger side intake elbow. Okay, I did not put it on this side, okay, on the driver's side. And I think I had a pretty good leak there, a vacuum leak. So what I did is I loosened up all of this to get this intake off, pulled the stock gasket, the metal gasket off, and I put the new, basically like a Felpro paper gasket, but it's thick. It's probably 3 times thicker than the stock one, and got it on there. Now the issue I have is where this guy, get where you can see this guy, my heat riser on the driver's side, the bolts are not wanting to play ball here. So tomorrow, I ran out of daylight, but tomorrow we'll get the heat riser back on this side, and should be looking pretty good. Now, I did have this on. I had everything on, okay, and I took it around the neighborhood, took it around the block. Had decent power, was running pretty good. I probably need to make some fine-tuning adjustments to the air-fuel mix, but all in all, not terrible. But I had an exhaust leak here, right there, where that heat riser mounted right there. I had a pretty bad exhaust leak, so I brought it back and started messing with that. So that's where we're at here. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. Look at the side of this car. You notice the doors are darker. When we got the paint mixed, it's just darker. It's the same paint, but it's darker. So as much as I absolutely hate to say this, me and Ron have been talking about it. We think we might be painting the doors again. I think I'm going to take the mirrors with me to match this so that we can get it dead on so that I don't have this problem. But, you know, I was hoping, you know, like an idiot, that maybe if sitting it out in the sun, maybe it would fade in a little bit. It really hasn't. And when you look at this thing in the light, I mean, it looks like I've got 4 totally different color doors on the Volkswagen thing. You can see it right there. Right there. They're just different. So, unfortunately, there's nothing wrong with the doors. They're doing exactly doors things, except for the wrong color. So, the wrong shade, I should say. So, I'm probably going to fix that. As much as I absolutely freaking hate to say that, I just, you know, yeah. So, anyway, we have that to deal with this week. We'll pull all this off real quick, tape off the backside, sand them down, and get the right color paint, and get this thing done. Hopefully this week will be a big week for the thing. We'll get the doors right, get this exhaust leak fixed. Motor should be running pretty good once we do that. God willing. The suspension and everything seems pretty dialed in. We are going to put a little air in the air shocks in the back, maybe get rid of a little bounce. We're going to try that. It's a little bouncy in the rear. I just want to put a little air in and see if that doesn't take that out. And then Ken's on Tuesday doing the front end alignment. We should be there. So it's been a battle, guys. I'm learning. You know, when we were at Big Daddy Don Garlits Museum, Drag Race Museum today, you see what they did with some of these cars. We put in, like, one had an Oldsmobile rocket motor in the front and a Cadillac motor in the back, right? And you look at that, you go, how the hell with the drive shaft mounted in between the legs of the guy, basically, when he's driving? You know, how did they do that? And, you know, we're just going to keep getting better here.
and that's basically where we're at with it. We're mistakes were made, and they weren't made on purpose. This honestly probably should have been right and dialed in a while ago, but you know, learning Volkswagens, you know, I made some assumptions in the beginning that killed me, like the factory gaskets that were on the motor when I got it, that they would be good because they looked good. But they're paper thin, and I don't know if there wasn't another gasket that went on top of that gasket. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're doubled up or whatever. So, just learning. Mistakes were made, but you know, we are definitely getting pretty good at Volkswagens. So, anyway, we had a really good day, guys. Me and Dad had a great time together. We've been wanting to go to Don Garlits Drag Racing Museum for years. We've driven by it every time we go north. It's right off I-75 in Ocala. And, you know, it's not a place where it's not flashy. So, you know, you see Big Daddy Don Garlits Museum on the side of a drag racing museum, and you go, okay, cool, and you see the sign. But there's not a lot to draw you in other than the knowledge of what that is, right? So we just never made it. But this time we were there, and we said we're going in, and man, we had a blast. It was really the coolest car museum I've ever been to, by leaps and bounds. So if you ever get the chance, go check that place out. I believe Don Garlits there all the time, from what I'm understanding of this. He's there a lot, so you might even get to meet him. I know he gave my dad's buddy, when they went there on their Harleys and stuff, he gave him a tour of the shop and the buildings and everything. He was talking to him about all the cars, and so that's pretty cool. So we're getting there, guys. Tomorrow, wet sanding and getting the exhaust heat riser, intake heat riser bolted back to the exhaust on this side, and get the exhaust leak fixed. Dial this motor in just a tick. It should only take a couple minutes, and this will be ready to go to Ken's on Tuesday morning. So, God willing, and put some fuel in it. We got to do that. Keep reminding me, okay, guys. We got to put fuel in the damn Volkswagen. And then hopefully, I believe. Hey, what day did they say it was going to rain? Tuesday? Tuesday or Wednesday it's going to rain. So whatever day it doesn't rain, we're going to paint the dash and the parts to the 57 Belair. So, and what we decided to do is we're going to, right here, here's Winnie. We're going to put the inflatable paint booth up. We're going to blow it out, clean it up, and get that ready. And we're going to paint the dash and the dash parts and everything, steering column, so on, in there. And we think we'll have less dust and so on, so just a better environment. And because we don't necessarily want to wet sand and buff all of these parts, so try to do what we can with what we got and get that dialed in. So more to come, guys. Stay tuned. Sorry I didn't get a lot of footage today. I honestly forgot the camera. I wish I would have brought it. I took some video and some shorts on my phone. Check them out on TikTok and on YouTube. Jesus, my dog's attacking a cat. But it was pretty cool. I got some video of inside Don Garlits and whatnot I think you guys might like. So stay tuned for more of that and more of this. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more content. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.